the screen. It looks great. Lovely pictures of you. You guys are ready to go. Take it away.
We are, Kim. Thank you very much. I am Upfell. I am the Business Development Manager working primarily with InterDyn clients in the Central and the Mountain region, and I'm happy to be here today. And then I'm going to turn over to Louis Doré. Louis is our Director of Sales Channels and Partners, and he's going to begin the presentation. I'll have a piece in the middle, and then we'll continue through the end, and then, of course, we'll open it up for Q&A as well. Louis?
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Kim, and thank you, everyone, for attending today. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Kim, and thank you, everyone, for attending today.
Very good.
Can you click through, Cindy, for me, please? Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. What we'll try to do today is really give you a high-level knowledge transfer of e-commerce as a whole. This is going to be based on our 17-year history, but very updated information. It won't be a technical session. It'll be a high-level session to give you some things to digest through, and also we'll keep the Q&A for the end, and we'll try and answer any questions that we cannot answer at the end of the session. And we'll leave some time at the end for that. And if there's one thing that I could leave you with personally is to think about, if we've done a really good job in transferring that knowledge to you, you should think about the top 4 e-commerce innovations. So what are we going to do today? What will we speak about today? We're going to go through what is e-commerce. We're going to define B2B e-commerce, some e-commerce challenges in the industry, some benefits of selling online. We're going to look at key considerations when looking for an e-commerce solution. It could be very complex, but it could also be very simple. Keep in mind the 4 e-commerce innovations. This is a trend, and this is all about digital transformation. Cindy is going to talk a little bit about customer success stories that we have, and then I'll come back with a cost savings, a return on investment, and what's in it for you, Mr. or Mrs. Customer. And of course, a little bit of the history of k-eCommerce. Okay, Cindy?
They should be there, Louis.
There we go. Thank you. The connection's a little slow. Bear with me, please. So there's a couple of key questions you should consider when you think about e-commerce in particular. There's things such as, what is e-commerce? When I do sessions in front of people or on webinars, we all ask, what is e-commerce? That's one major question. And a lot of people answer, hey, it's consumer, right? It's business consumer, but it's much more than that. So keep that in mind as we go through this. Also, how many of you have an e-commerce solution? That's another key question. When I do sessions, again, there's very few people, very few companies that have e-commerce solutions. And the third one is, if I do have an e-commerce solution, is it integrated to my back end, to Microsoft Dynamics, to my ERP back end? The answer usually is no, or very few people have it really fully integrated to ERP, Microsoft Dynamics on the back end. So let's answer the question. The first one, what is e-commerce? Multiple ways we can answer, but if you look at what is e-commerce, it's composed of 2 major areas. Business to consumer, and as I mentioned, when you answer the question, what is e-commerce, most people think about the consumer, business to consumer. Business to consumer is quite complex. Although you're not fixing, you're not negotiating prices, you're not bargaining when you're buying consumer products on the web. It's one single price, it's one color, it's one SKU. It's for personal use. It's really emotionally driven, and it's consumer marketing along the way. If you look at B2B, business to business e-commerce, it's a different story. You already know your customer. you're a distributor, a wholesaler, a manufacturer, a retailer, you're consuming for business. You have variable prices, bulk purchases, you're always bargaining, and it's always rationally driven, and the marketing around it is towards your business, your vendors, and your clients that you already know, and it exists in your ERP backend also. So at the end of the day, and I did mention before that it's not a technical presentation, so in layman terms, what is e-commerce at the end of the day? If it's business to consumer and business to business e-commerce, it's one single thing that you should consider. It's simply an online ordering system. That's the best way to look at it. Okay, so now we look at some of the challenges that we've heard along our 17-year history. Many, many challenges, and it is a matter of perception, and I'll explain why, and as Cindy goes through the rest of the slides and I come back with a return on investment, you'll figure it out. Most people say, hey, it's too complicated. Yes, it could be. Afraid of change and the unknown? Absolutely. It's a change when you're taking orders on the phone, spreadsheets, line item by line item. Things aren't integrated on the back end. It's operationally cumbersome, but people don't like change. Too expensive? Large inventories. One of our successful customer reference sites, she did mention that she's managing too much inventory and in too many databases, too many disparate systems. Is it a challenge? Absolutely. Complex pricing models. If you're doing business around Europe, Asia Pacific, around the world, you got to think of currencies, multilingualism. There's a lot of complexity in pricing models, right? What's the currency? Lacking in IT infrastructure? Absolutely. I went to see one customer in Texas a couple of weeks ago, and the president owner of a $200 million bearing company with 100 employees, he is lacking in IT infrastructure. Absolutely. He's got one guy, the IT director, Stanley, and Stanley's managing everything. So he is making Stanley's life actually a lot easier because of e-commerce and the optimization from syncing the information right from your ERP integrated right to k-eCommerce to the front end for your customers to be able to buy 24/7, weekends, after hours, being open all the time. And of course you have to look at the logistical issues. How do we get the products out the door, track them, bring them back into ERP, charge the customer, take their credit card, etc., etc. All major challenges. Please consider all those. Now, the amazing news that I can relate here is that the B2B market, business-to-business market, is a $780 billion market for all of us. InterDyn BMI, k-eCommerce, but more specifically for you, the customer, that does not have an online ordering system. These are huge dollars, and consider the revenue that you could be missing out on if you're not open 24/7 with an online ordering system to make your purchasers get into your system and order quickly. Okay? If you're not doing it, somebody else is doing. And now notice that only 37% more than B2C commerce, which is interesting, right? We all thought consumer, B2C more, but no. B2B is really 37% more than B2C. So it's a $780 B2B business. Now, Forrester also mentions that it's a $1.1 trillion business by the year 2020. Now, major suppliers like Microsoft, like SAP, like Oracle, the major software suppliers, we're all talking about one thing right now, digital transformation. Part of the digital transformation in the $1.1 trillion worth of business is, number one, e-commerce. That's one of the biggest significant movements in culture around the digital transformation era today. And Microsoft obviously sees this as very important because they nurture us as a software vendor, they nurture InterDyn BMI, as a systems integrator, as your vendor of choice, managing that whole heart of your business, the ERP system. So Microsoft sees their partners as integral pieces to your business. Now, what are the benefits of selling online? There are many of them, right? You increase orders, You reach new markets. If you're opening up new markets, I was with one customer a couple of weeks ago also, a Montreal-based customer that has exclusive rights of distribution to a distribution line of healthcare products, and they were forced basically to be online because if they're not meeting their quotas with the exclusive distributor, then the revenue doesn't significantly jump. So this is very important that you have to reach new markets, a Canadian customer selling into the US or anywhere else in the world. The same thing with another customer that we have in France, has to open up to the European Unity. Complex, absolutely, but they have to reach new markets and they have to increase their orders, thus increasing their revenue, and if they don't do it, somebody else will. You're going to maximize your resources, you're going to increase profitability by your operational efficiency on the back end, and at the end of the day, you're going to make it easier for your customers to do business with you. Cindy, I'll leave the next slides to you, and I'll be back with the return on investment and what's in it for you, Mr. and Mrs. Customer.
All right, thank you, Louis. So some of the key considerations when you're looking for an e-commerce solution, you have to think outside of the shopping cart, so to speak. There are plenty of widget shopping carts out there that can offer online ordering, but they don't give you what your customers are looking for when they want to purchase. They want that personal experience that they're used to having as a consumer when they shop. So they want to be able to register, to log in, to see product catalogs that are customized for them, searchable product catalogs. They want to have efficient and secure payment processing. They want shipping options. So with our integrations to FedEx, UPS, the United States Postal Service, and others, you can give your customers options for shipping. And of course, they want to be able to track those orders as well. So order tracking information is just a fingertip away when they get their tracking email. Tax calculation, that needs to be accurate, whether it comes from your Dynamics ERP or if you're using a third-party sales tax automation organization. We can certainly work with those as well. And of course, above all, security is key. Every year, busy shopping season is about to start, and every year we hear about these breaches that we're having at Target and Kohl's and what have you. Security is definitely a key piece to consider when you are looking for your e-commerce solution. So there are some innovations. There's some top innovations now in the e-commerce space. The first one, of course, is security, personalization, automation, and the Omnichannel. So starting with security, customers need to be secure when they shop online. What k-eCommerce can offer you is a PCI DSS certified cloud environment. You have to have this to reduce those risks of your security breaches. We are level 1 PCI DSS certified. This can save you and your customers up to anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 a year annually in audit fees. So k-eCommerce takes on that responsibility. We go through an extensive PCI audit every year to ensure that our solution is PCI compliant. So our services are designed in such a way that as an online merchant, you don't have to have the credit card information inside your system. The credit card information is not pushed into your ERP. Thanks to a complete redirection to our specialized PCI servers, when the cardholder data is entered, the store portion of your web page is totally out of scope because of our k-eCommerce credit card pop-up. So it's easier for you to be compliant. k-eCommerce complies with PCI DSS specifications, and we use the industry's best practices to protect credit card information. And that allows us to achieve that high level of security through tokenization and other means. Now, personalization. We all shop online these days for our personal use, and of course, with the holidays coming, we're going to probably be doing a whole lot more of that. E-commerce needs to provide those end users, whether they're a consumer or a business customer purchasing for their organization, a very personalized experience so that they can quickly find what they're looking for. E-commerce really isn't about focusing on the product line anymore. It's about focusing on the customer and providing them with that personalized experience so that they can find what they're looking for, be it through custom product catalogs. They have unique pricing. They have unique payment terms. They want to have that personal, secure online account with individual customer profiles. You can also offer suggested or related products when they're doing their shopping, payment and shipping methods of their choice, and of course access to historical account information is key to that personalization process. Automation. Automation is huge, and it can be the difference between a very successful e-commerce site and a not so successful e-commerce site. The benefit of having a k-eCommerce automated solution is really it lies in our sync technology. Because we integrate with the Microsoft Dynamics ERPs, we enable you to offer the newest products, updated pricing, available product availability. All of this syncs in real time from the ERP to the web store. The online orders are captured on the web store, and then they get pushed back into the ERP in real time. So you can integrate those other pieces, including that customer data, product data, inventory levels, pricing, shipping, payment, order information. All of that is completely automated inside our sync technology, and that's really one of the key benefits of our sync technology. It is unobtrusive. You'll see that it sits outside of the Dynamics ERP. This makes your ERP upgrades easier. It makes patches and new product releases easier to apply. They can be installed quickly. It allows for a bi-directional flow of information between the ERP and the web store. Now, because the sync technology sits outside of the ERP, should you need to take your Dynamics ERP down for maintenance or updates or whatever the case may be, your store site's going to be up and running the whole time. So what happens is the sync technology will capture all of those orders and then hold them until the ERP is back online, and as soon as it's back up, all of that information gets pushed into the ERP. So your customers can still order as they want to, whether it's 6 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night. Now the omnichannel. The omnichannel it's a big buzzword, and it's all about moving into the digital age. We as consumers and as business buyers, we are really living in a digital world. So we have, we do have our brick and mortar stores. We have websites that we research. We like to purchase on our mobile devices. We get information via email and social media. We live in a very data-driven and digital world today. So the omni-channel approach, it seeks to provide those customers with that seamless shopping experience, whether the customer is shopping online from their desktop or their mobile device, or maybe they want to be on the phone or in a brick and mortar store. Just like the consumers, almost all B2B buyers start their product research online. They do their shopping across a variety of devices. I know that I do that, whether it's desktop, laptops, smartphones, tablets. They almost always start their research on a search engine, even before they go to the manufacturer's website. So living in the digital age is key, and providing a comprehensive omni-channel experience ensures that your customers will stay loyal to your business, and they will help drive your business as a result. People talk on social media about, their shopping experiences, and you want to make that shopping experience for your B2B buyers, as seamless and as easy as possible. So one of our omni-channel customers, Wireless Giant, they are a customer back in the day. They started back in 1996, and they used to sell pagers. I haven't seen a pager in forever, but they used to sell pagers. And over the years, they've grown their product offering to include multiple brand name mobile phones and accessories, and they now have over 90 retail wireless stores across multiple states, and they are a national distributor of their product lines. What they needed was an e-commerce solution that could fulfill the diverse needs of their B2C market as well as their B2B channel. So they also needed that integration to their Microsoft Dynamics GP ERP as well. So for their B2B portal, k-eCommerce gave them the ability to create unique pricing and unique catalogs for the many different dealer accounts that Wireless Giant does business with. Each of their clients also via a secure login, and they can quickly place orders online. So when they log in, they only see the products and pricing that is signed to that particular account. That's the freedom and the flexibility and the ability to be unique inside of k-eCommerce. Now, for their retail side, we delivered not only the functionality, but also the design that Wireless Giant had envisioned, and that allows them to offer their product line to their customers, and they're showcased by the lifestyle that they align with. And I will let you guys know that the video on this is not synced up. I can't sync it here, but I am happy to send you the links to the customer video testimonials that you'll see here today, so just let us know. Now, we have a couple of other customer success stories as well with Whitaker Brothers and also with Coffee Beanery. So Whitaker Brothers was founded in 1945 just outside of Washington, D.C., and they began by selling paper shredders and binder equipment. They have since then grown into a worldwide leader in the data destruction equipment industry. So you can imagine, being that they sit outside of Washington, D.C., they deal a lot with the federal government, with DoD contractors and commercial businesses. So Whitaker Brothers provides shredders that can dismantle and destroy, laptops and PCs as needed. So they run it's a really cool business that they have. But they were using Magento open source to run their web store. So they did have a web store using Magento open source. But it didn't integrate with their Dynamics GP platform. So when an order was placed online, the employees at Whitaker Brothers had to print and hand deliver copies of the orders for each department involved. So for invoicing, packing, shipping, fulfillment, each department had to have a printed copy of this order. And then they had to, once it was complete, they had to rekey the order from Magento into Microsoft Dynamics GP. It was a very tedious and manual process. So as the volume of their web orders started to grow, Whitaker Brothers realized they needed a more automated process. So to make that happen, they sought an e-commerce platform built specifically for their Microsoft Dynamics GP system, which is exactly what we at k-eCommerce was able to deliver to them. And our last success story, we have plenty more, but I won't go into a lot of detail on the others. I can certainly supply those for you. But Coffee Beanery is actually a business located just outside of Flint, Michigan. It's a family-owned business that was founded in 1976. They are an industry leader in specialty coffee, and they offer 40 unique blends of high-quality beans. And what sets Coffee Beanery apart is that they roast all of their beans right there in their factory just outside of Flint. Now, Coffee Beanery has been with us for a long time. They had both a B2C site and a B2B store, but they wanted to expand their sales channels further. So they started selling their products on the Amazon Marketplace. They had such a successful season at the Christmas holiday that by the time they got caught up and took a breath, they realized that they didn't have the capacity to meet that kind of fulfillment, doing everything through Amazon manually. Every order that was placed through the marketplace had to be entered manually into their Dynamics nav backend. So we at k-eCommerce delivered them the solution that they were looking for. Because we have an online marketplace integration to Amazon, Coffee Beanery was able to automate the entire order process there. So, and all of this was managed within their single database. So they didn't have to have multiple systems to manage. And the key with integration is it gives you that single source of business truth, and that comes from your ERP system. So now, Louis, I'm going to hand it back over to you to discuss ROI.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, everyone. So before I go into the last 5 slides, let me just recap a little bit the 7 items that we covered to date. The first one was, what is e-commerce? We defined what e-commerce is in particular. Most people think in general it's business to consumer, but we've clarified that, right? Business to consumer and business to business. And k-eCommerce has one full platform to cater to both sides of the business. We also covered B2B, business to business e-commerce, and that's, remember, that's $178 billion business moving to $1.1 trillion by 2020, according to Forrester. We looked at the e-commerce challenges, which are the same across the world, right? From Asia Pacific all the way to the US, down to Buenos Aires, all the way to Alaska. These are the same e-commerce challenges that we all face, right? Too expensive, too complex, changes, the unknown, et cetera, et cetera. We, of course, simplify that by having a fully integrated solution to Dynamics. We looked at some of the benefits of selling online, right? And please consider, yes, there are many operational efficiencies and savings, but think of one major item on the benefits of selling online. Open 24/7 and generating more revenue against your competitors. We looked at some of the key considerations of looking for an e-commerce solution: taxation, language, currencies, number of SKUs, too many databases, managing too many disparate systems, transportation, payments. Consider all that. Then Cindy talked about the top 4 e-commerce innovations. If you can take away just those 4, you would cover a lot of the e-commerce knowledge transfer that we've given to you around security, personalization, automation, and the Omnichannel. And of course, Cindy talked about some customer success stories. We have them all across Dynamics, from NAV to AEX to CRM to GP, across the world with over 650 customers, managing about 1,500 websites. And then the cost savings. Let's talk about the cost savings in the ROI and what's in it for you. So in summary, if you look at numbers, right, we looked at the operational cost, so you will reduce the cost by 52%. There's no doubt about it. Some line items just to take orders over the phone, inputting in a spreadsheet, and managing that process back to an ERP if someone has an ERP or a CRM or any other system, it's going to reduce your cost by 52% just on time. You're going to save anywhere between $10,000 to $50,000 just on the PCI and DSS compliance that we mitigate the risk for you. So we are taking the ownership. We are, as a company, spending anywhere between $250,000 to $500,000 on being compliant for you, a customer. One customer 2 weeks ago at a session in Florida that I did mentioned that she was spending $100,000 just on the security, on the PCI compliancy. Now, having said that, that was a banking institution, and that's why she was spending $100,000. The majority of small to mid-sized businesses are spending anywhere and can spend anywhere between $10,000 to $50,000 just to be compliant. We mitigate that risk for you. And then you're going to increase the capacity of order taking, because not only are you open 24/7, but again, the time consumption of entering those orders will decrease substantially, so you're increasing your capacity of taking orders faster, quicker than your competitors on an online ordering system. Now let's look at something very interesting that we've created, and this has been compiled over 17 years of knowledge that we've gained through speaking with customers. Figure if you're not going to open up a web store, what will you do? You will open up a physical location, a physical sales office. So you're looking at rent, renovations, equipment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and you're only open 40 hours a week. So you're looking at a total initial investment just to get up and running on a storefront, a physical storefront, anywhere between $61,000 to $70,000. So after 3 years, you're looking at an investment of $333,000. But you're only open 40 hours a week, correct? And you have people, insurance, advertising, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if you want to sell faster, quicker, more efficiently, and at less cost, you're going to look at an integrated e-commerce solution. And if you have an ERP running, ERP Dynamics on the back end, it definitely simplifies. The integration part of this whole story is very important to consider. So your initial investment, your managed services, your advertising, exactly the same thing as if you're opening up a retail physical location. Your initial investment is about 30 to 40% less at $26,000 and about $108,000 after 3 years. So you are really looking at a cost savings of opening up a web store versus a physical location at 30 to 40% less. And these are real numbers, but simplified for you to look at an easy comparison. Okay, so at the end of the day, integration to Microsoft Dynamics, key. Another customer mentioned to me that that was one of the biggest decision-making reasons why he chose k-eCommerce. No, he doesn't want to deal with puzzles, pieces, third-party products, trying to put everything together through an open source that he can't manage, and in the long run, it's a huge investment, versus being a small customer that will be growing and is growing and opening up a quick 2-day web store online. Because you know the content is going to grow, you know the complexity is going to grow, so you might as well stick with a fully integrated Microsoft Dynamics solution from the onset. You're working with one database, as Cindy mentioned. That's exactly what Coffee Beanery's challenge was. Too many databases. Now you have a single source of the truth. You simplify the web store maintenance because k-eCommerce becomes a partner, not a vendor to you. We simplify the configuration, the installation, the maintenance, all the way to the support and the integration on the software as a service in the cloud model. And that's 90% of our customers are in our cloud and or Azure. You're going to save your business time and money, satisfy the customers at the end of the day, whether it's B2B or B2C, whether it looks beautiful or whether it doesn't. The website is a functioning online ordering system where you've improved your shopping experience. So lastly, how do you make Dynamics sell for you? Through a couple of things we've already said. We've spoken about innovation. You have to be at the top of innovation to compete. The integration, key. The responsive technology, meaning that k-eCommerce's solution adheres to all the form factors, whether it's a Surface, any mobile device, any PC, web, any operating system on your device. So it's a responsive technology that we put out in the world. Omnichannel, Cindy spoke about it. You have to consider a bunch of different components around the omnichannel, whether you want to make it real simple, real quick, or whether you're going to continue growing your business, continuing the content, and continuing improving that experience to the customer. Our platform has B2B and B2C all incorporated into one. The PCI DSS certification, huge and something very important to consider. That's why we don't reside within Microsoft Dynamics. We are outside. The other factor also, if ERP is down, you're still going to be able to place orders. It's a cloud experience, so we're on top of every innovative technology that Microsoft has around the cloud, including, of course, Azure, and we are a cloud pioneer since the beginning. And subject matter expertise is very important to you, the customer, because we've been doing this for 17 years with about 34 plus years experience in e-commerce with seasoned senior professionals. So at the end of the day, it's a best-in-class e-commerce solution. That's what we offer to you. Finally, the last slide is coming up in 1 second.
Did you see that? We've been doing e-commerce for a while. So, and we have k-eCommerce, like Louis mentioned. We've been, we've been around since 1999. GP was our first integration 12 years ago, and we've added since then. So we are going to be, or now we are offering support for the Microsoft Azure environment. So we're happy about that, and we are again prepared to be your e-commerce partner. Thank you all very much for joining Louis and I today. We appreciate your time, and we are happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right. So again, on the right-hand side, if you've got questions that you would like to ask before we let them go, please type those in. I don't see anything in there right now. So let me just ask you guys, obviously, it's a transitional change for people to look at selling things online, but what a huge, huge opportunity. You gave us some good success stories. What's the most common question that you get from somebody that's making this decision? ROI is important, but what are some common questions that you are hearing from people that want to do this but want to know how to get started?
Well, I can say, Kim, that I've heard, and this one it was probably more recently. We do a lot with manufacturing and distribution, and when it comes to the B2B environment, some of our customers are wondering, because their customers are used to placing orders by phone or by email, and yes, some even still use a fax machine, if you can believe that. But so they're asking, how easy is it for what's the conversion rate when clients are, we're asking them to, enter this portal and shop online and do all of that. And I can tell you the response has been it's phenomenal because everybody orders online already. So, we've all had the Amazon experience or the Target experience or whatever that experience may be, but we all do a little bit of online shopping now. And actually, there was a Forrester study that was done, survey and they had asked B2B buyers, how do you prefer to buy? Over phone, via an online portal or, email, how do you prefer? 94% of them said they would prefer to order online rather than talk to a salesperson, which is, obviously a double-edged sword for me, but if you can offer them that option, then, those conversion rates are going to be huge. But currently today, only 35% of the market that is available in the B2B world is offering online to their buyers. So the potential there is huge. So, poll your customers and see what do they want to do. Would they rather have an online portal? And then call us. We'll help you.
Right. Excellent. All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much, guys. I sure appreciate your time. And again, this recording is invaluable. We'll make sure we get this up on our YouTube channel so that we can share it with other folks. But thank you so much for your time. And again, do get in touch with Cindy or Louie if you have additional questions, and we're here to support you. Thank you, guys.